a box or something at first, maybe.
Drivers on Rockside Road dodging an object in the middle of traffic, some of them putting themselves at risk to investigate, and turns out that box thrown from a moving car was in fact a helpless animal. And today we caught up with the man who witnessed that pet being tossed out the window like a piece of trash. And you won't believe the bond he formed with his new furry friend before this story took yet another tragic turn.
It's mind-boggling. It's confusing. It's sad.
Those are just some of the words Cody McKay is using to describe what he saw Friday night on the Garfield Heights-Maple Heights border.
It's pretty devastating.
He was driving behind a car on Rockside Road near Eastwood when he saw what he thought was a box thrown out the window. McKay stopped when he saw what happened next.
And it stood up and it was standing there, and it turns out it was a dog.
McKay got the injured pooch out of the road, but not before it was hit again. McKay thinks maybe 2 more times. Wrapped in a blanket, McKay took him to his job at this Christmas tree lot to wait for someone to bring him to the vet for treatment.
He then took his final breaths and said goodbye.
McKay believes the dog, which he says was friendly, had a troubled life.
There were scars all over his face, not new wounds. So it was pretty obvious that this dog was no friend to anybody and just used for fighting.
VCA Great Lakes is cremating the animal.
But I'm going to be receiving his ashes.
As for why McKay wants them,
you never really know how much an animal impacts your life, even in such a short amount of time until, something like that truly happens.
In addition to receiving the dog's remains, McKay named him after a popular Christmas tree on his lot.
He's now living in the legacy of the trees as the Douglas fir, so Douglas is his name.
Now, witnesses were not able to get a license plate or a description of that car. The Garfield Heights animal warden is currently investigating.